Hey guys, I'd like to tell you this is going to be a quick little video, but it probably won't because it's going to get into some explaining. But, long story short, picked up another Tab A today. If I can get that up to focus on my nice fancy camera. 40 bucks, you guys know the deal on that. And picked up a Lenovo Tab tonight as well for 30 bucks. So, Bad Billy made a comment to me tonight, and I figured it was kind of my duty to start making some of these guys realize how stupid they are for paying too much. So, we're going to start out here, and we're going to do me and them. And we're going to do them first. Got my phone out. I'll punch some numbers in. We'll get this figured out. So, this Galaxy Tab A. Perfect example. I'll give you my combined numbers to make it make sense, but long story short, for them, they like buying it at half price. So, this cost them 79 bucks. Now, if I did this, you'd multiply that by 1.055 to add in my sales tax. But you got to remember, these big guys that know it all, they have businesses, so they're only going to pay this because they're going to be tax exempt. I mean, they really know what they're doing, so they're going to be tax exempt. But they're going to sell it. Okay? They decide, I'm too good for this. I am going to circumvent eBay and I am going to sell this fancy tablet right here for $180. I mean, they're going big. They're going big. Now, I don't know exactly how eBay's fee structure works, so I'm just going to use, or how Amazon's fee structure works. So I'm just going to use eBay. And from what I understand, you don't always get paid right away with Amazon. Whereas eBay, you get it sold, you get it paid. So I'm going to multiply that by 0.97, take away my PayPal fees. And then I'm going to multiply it by 0.95. I actually think I should multiply it by 0.96, because I think if you have a store, the fees are like 4% on tablets or something smaller, because they're a high volume item. You don't pay as much. But we'll go 0.95 for easy numbers. Okay. That, if I'm, hang on, let me finish that up. That'd be 165.87 if we're rounding off. Okay. So then they have to ship it. And they're gonna pay about 10 bucks. I mean, that's with insurance. I think that's about what I pay. So 10 bucks for shipping. Priority mail. They might get some absurd price, but we'll be nice because we were nice here. We kind of gave them a little bit of credit. Now you subtract all that out, and you come up with 155.87. So that's what they get after all their fees, shipping, the whole 9 yards. Okay, now subtract out that original 79, because gotta remember, they're tax exempt, so they don't gotta pay taxes when they buy it. So they make more money off it, you know. So that puts you at 76.87. That's not too bad. I mean, they made 77 bucks off one little tablet. Okay, so their ROI would be that right there divided by that right there. So their ROI, they're what, 97.3%, I think it is right there. So their ROI is 97.3%. That's pretty good. They're almost doubling their money. But let's face it, in order to get this price right here, that $180, they have to turn around and they have to sit on it. I'll be nice. I'm going to say they're only going to sit on it for 3 months. So, long story short, you take that and you multiply it by 4, and their APY, their annual percentage yield off their investment. Now this is where guys that know economics come in and they say, yeah, you're making a nice ROI, but your APY, I mean, that's 394%, 0.6%. I mean, if we're getting real technical here. So their APY is 394.6. I mean, you go to the bank, there's no way they'd ever give you that kind of APY. Never. Not even remotely. And that's great. But a guy like me comes along, and I've got some patience. And I don't want to overpay that 79 bucks. Instead, I decide I'm going to pay a much more reasonable rate of 40. And then I got to multiply that out by this because, well, I pay tax on it because I'm not tax exempt. So I actually pay that per tablet. I pay $42.20. So that's what I pay per tablet. Now, this is my third one. I picked it up today on lunch break at work, and I listed it on my way home because I already had my template set up, and by 8 o'clock tonight I already had it sold. My average of all 3 of the tablets I've sold so far, I'll give it to you straight, I sold them for 110 bucks. So I multiply that by 0.97 for my 3% eBay fee, and multiply that by 0.95 because I do have a store. I mean, it's not a fancy store, and I pay that like 24 bucks a month. I mean, I should take that out of there, but we're gonna wash that for right now because both sides are paying that. So I'm not too terribly concerned. Ultimately, after my fees, I'm getting what, 101 point, I mean, you want to get real crazy, what, 365? My kids really did squash the tip of this marker on me. So I'm getting 101.365 minus my 10 bucks to ship it. I'm making 91.365. So I'm not doing too bad, I guess. So I come along and I subtract out that $42.20 that I paid for it. And I'm making basically $49.17. I mean, you want to talk? So go back around. My ROI would be this divided by this. So my ROI is 116.5. So my return on investment's better than them. At the same time, if you want to get into the APY end of it, I mean, what, there's 365 days in a year. It took me 1 day to sell it. Actually, less than 1 day, but we'll go 1 day for right now. It took me 1 day to sell it. So that would have to be multiplied by 365 in order to get my APY. My APY would be 42,524%. So my ROI is better. My APY is better. And if you really want to get crazy, all 3 of those tablets I sold in less than 12 hours. So if you really want to get crazy, my APY would be a little bit more like this. I'd like to see any bank give you that kind of money on your money. And that is why overpaying and not waiting is not worth it. So, I hope you guys enjoy the little math lesson. We'll focus this in a little tighter here for you. Now that I've got the camera squared away. But yeah, how do you and I mean, if you really want to get crazy, I actually sold them in less than 8 hours. So it's even better than that still. But that's why I don't overpay.